So is this now open war between the Modi government and the Gandhis, particularly Sonia Gandhi? Street protests by the Congress, does it constitute bad optics? Does the Enforcement Directorate have proof to act against Sonia Gandhi? Is the process as the punishment, as the Chief Justice of India suggested a few days ago, in another wider context? Joining me now for our face-off, Shama Mohammed of the Congress and Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP. Shehzad Poonawalla, let's come to you. Cut the chase. You heard Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi saying, even if you want to question Sonia Gandhi, no problem with it at all. But when you take so many hours to question someone over a case that over a decade ago requires only a few documents to be checked, when you question her over several hours, now calling her again third day, he says it amounts to vendetta, pure harassment, nothing to do with the case itself. Your response?
You know, Rajdeep, you gave 10 minutes to Mr. Singhvi. I'll just take 1/10 of the time. This is what I call, this is not about ED, Enforcement Directorate. This is entitlement of dacoity. This is entitled diners, even when they want to dictate how the investigation should be done. First of all, is it not true that a court of law, the trial court and the high court, has said that there are criminal aspects of this case that should be investigated? They had said that Young Indians was actually a special purpose vehicle by which 2,000 crores worth of property belonging to freedom fighters and Indian people was usurped, and by the way, it was not just income tax violation, it was a violation of 403, 406, 420, 120B, which forms a predicate schedule offence under PMLA.
The court has not said that.
No,
Shehzad Poonawalla, you must be, you must not mislead the audience.
May I read out the court order? May I read out the court order? Rajdeep, this is not fair. You just gave Abhishek 10 minutes.
I'm going to give you the same.
I will read out court order.
The court has said there is a prima facie income tax violation that needs to be investigated.
If I read this and if you're wrong, then what? Please go ahead. Will you apologize to me?
No, please go ahead.
I'm reading out the High Court and the trial court lines. Please bear with me. After having considered this entire case in its proper perspective, this court, the High Court, finds no hesitation to put on record that the modus operandi adopted by the petitioners in taking control of AJL via special purpose vehicle, VI, particularly when the main persons in Congress party, AJL and VI, are the same, evidences a criminal intent, not income tax violation. Well, listen. Yes. Whether it is cheating, criminal misappropriation or criminal breach of trust is not required to be spelled out at this stage, but let me tell you what the trial court said. From this complaint and the evidence led so far, it appears that YI in fact was created as a sham or a cloak to convert public money to personal use or a special purpose vehicle for acquiring control of 2,000 crores worth of assets. And since all the accused persons have allegedly acted in consortium with each other to achieve the said nefarious purpose or design, there are sufficient grounds for proceedings against them, against all of them. It goes without saying the guilt of the accused will be determined when the trial is proved, but this is what they have said, and under that they have said section 120B, let the accused number 1 to 6, under namely Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Motilal Vora, Oscar Fernandez and others, section 120B, 403, 406, 420. If I am lying, this is para number 9 in the High Court order and para number 39 of the High Court.
This is subject to the trial.
One second.
The matter is
no,
Rajdeep,
now you are interrupting and breaking my flow.
Sir, my limited point to you, Shehzad Poonawalla.
Rajdeep, you cannot do this. You
Dr.
gave Abhishek
Manu Singhvi claimed that where is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act invoked
Rajdeep,
here? Where is the scheduled offence?
Please go ahead. Yes, Rajdeep, please, now you will not interrupt me. Please let me tell you. Please let me explain to you, because this is a legal concept. There is section 3 of PMLA of ED Act. PMLA Act, which governs ED, money laundering. Money laundering doesn't mean just money coming in and out, it means criminal proceeds of a crime. Now, under section 3 of PMLA, scheduled offences include 420 and 120B. I am showing you para 9 of the trial court order, which talks about the fact that there is section 403, 406, 420 along with 120B that has been put on the accused, that's Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, and para 39 of the High Court order has also reiterated that fact. They have got no relief. So there is a scheduled offence under which the ECIR was then filed, and the investigation in the ED is going on the basis of this. This is not even at a ECIR stage, this is at a trial court, this is at a cognizance of court stage, not at a FIR or an ECIR stage. Now let me bring to the larger point. A few questions I can raise and then Shama Mohammed can answer. First of all, they said this is a satyagraha. Let me tell you what was done in the name of satyagraha. It was a hatyagraha and a duragraha. Nagpur, protesters burnt a vehicle. Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, a member of parliament, LOP, called ED idiot. Then you have Renuka Chaudhary holding the collar of a police wala. Is this satyagraha? Then you have Netta D'Souza spitting on women police constables. Is this satyagraha? Then you have Congress people burning tires outside ED office. defacing, and also one Congress leader called Mr. Prime Minister Modi that he should die a dog's death. Is this all satyagraha? Now let me come to the main question that these people are not on. 1 second. No, Rajdeep, you give 10 minutes to Abhishek.
No, you must allow her to respond. I'll give you a minute.
Rajdeep, just
you made a serious chart. Let them respond. But go ahead.
Let them answer. But Rajdeep, you gave 10 minutes just to a Congress leader. Now you are putting
He's the lawyer of Sonia Gandhi. He has a reason. He has a locus.
So you could have called BJP also individually.
Mr. Punawala, go ahead.
Now let me ask some specific questions of Ms. Shama Mohammed. One, if, as Mr. Singhvi said, that this is a vendetta politics, the court has said that Young Indians was a special purpose vehicle, and that finding has not been discarded by any other higher court. Is the court doing vendetta politics? Two, if their intention was just to help AJL, why was the shareholding of AJL, 1,000 plus shares, sent over to YI, which had only two shareholders majorly, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, and it was objected to by whom? By Shanti Bhushan and Markandeya Kaju. Number three, if this was the case, then why was it that in the IT reassessment order, now he said that there is no offence. IT also came out with an order and it was challenged in the High Court and Supreme Court, and it has not given relief so far to them. Four, if the Congress wanted to waive off the loan and do some charity work for AJL, they could have waived off AJL's loan of 90 crores. They transferred it to YI, gave the entire ownership of the property and the shareholding to YI, and then waived the loan. Did they take permission of the Congress donors? Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt.
I'm not going to let you. Shama Mohammed must first answer the politics. We need to focus for now on the politics. Shama Mohammed, Sonia Gandhi is being questioned. Let's assume she's being harassed, as Abhishek Manu Singhvi claimed, that you don't need such extensive interrogation. Either way, that is the process of law. You have to submit to it. Narendra Modi was also questioned by the SIT more than a decade ago for several hours on end. Sharad Pawar was questioned by the ED. I didn't see this kind of mass protest, staging dharnas on the road. Why not just allow the law to take its own course? The more you do it, the optics seem as if the Congress wants to interfere with the process of law.
Rajdeep, let's remember one very important thing.
Please focus on my question.
I'm focusing on your question. The SIT was constituted by the Supreme Court and the High Court. It was not done by the Congress party or the UPA. Let's understand that very clearly. Here the ED is basically sent by Amit Shah and Modi and nobody else.
Is that a fact? Is that a fact?
1 minute.
Is that a fact, Rajdeep?
No, not at all. Just relax.
I did not interrupt vomiting. He was just vomiting things which nobody understood. He was just going on rattoing. So let me...
I did not...
Just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute. Please focus on my question, Shama Mohammed.
So,
there is no evidence that the ED was sent by Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. That is your impression, your perception.
Can I speak? You did not interrupt him.
Please go ahead.
Now, yes, this case started in 2012. The High Court, in fact, threw it out in 2014. The ED also had closed it. They transferred the person who was heading the ED and got a new person. And they were quiet for the last 8 years. Suddenly, they just opened it. That itself shows that it's vendetta. Number two, yesterday we asked permission to go to Rajghat and do a peaceful protest. And that is our right, Rajdeep. In a democracy, we all have the right to protest. Why did not the Narendra Modi government or the Bharatiya Janata Party allow us to peacefully protest? Now today morning, I went into my office when I was getting both sides of the Akbar Road were closed. For what? And then when I had to go in, they asked me, they looked at a list, the police, and said, your name is there or not. So normal workers cannot go. Those whose names were there could go in. I got into the Karyalaya, I got into the AICC. After that, when I wanted to leave, when I got out of the gate, they arrested me. On what basis have they arrested you? We didn't do anything.
Ma'am, my limited point to you, across the nation, several politicians, senior people, VIPs at times, businessmen are interrogated, questioned by the ED. There aren't protests outside the office of the Enforcement Directorate or on the streets. Allow the law to take its own course. If Sonia Gandhi is innocent, the law will prove it. What is it about the Congress party that, because I'll tell you what, the optics are that, as was suggested in a way by Mr. Punawala here, that there's an entitled privilege that no one can question the Gandhi family.
So did Mrs. Gandhi did she protest? She's gone there for the questioning. Mrs.
So
Gandhi
why are you protesting? She's very happy to go. Why are you all protesting?
The protest is part of what has not been allowed also inside Parliament. I think Rahulji also said very clearly, we can't just discuss the increase in the GST, 5% increase. We can't discuss price rise. We can't discuss Agnipak. We cannot discuss the falling rupee. So they're not allowing us to talk in Parliament. They just suspend MPs. We've been waiting for it. And what is the reasoning given? because Nirmala Sitharaman is got COVID and she's not there. Let me ask
Let's discuss about this.
During the farm bills, who was there? Was the agriculture minister?
Why do you need to, ma'am? That is a parliament issue. I asked you, why do you need to be on the street? Why, if Sonia Gandhi is ready to appear before the Enforcement Directorate, why do you need to be on the street?
That is what this protest is also on a larger scale on what is happening inside the parliament. You're not understanding it. So,
I'm sorry, Congress, at the moment the impression is the Congress is protesting because they are protesting against the ED. This is a protest against the ED.
This is basically harassment. Like I said, the scheduled offence. He spoke about the scheduled offence. When there's a scheduled offence, only the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, ED, can act. But they haven't shown us the scheduled offence. For example, he says there is a scheduled offence. Now, I want to see the FIR. Can Shehzad Poonawala show me the FIR, please? No FIR till now, Rajdeep. Please ask him why.
Okay.
Now, Rajdeep, I hope you will give me...
Just a minute, Shehzad. Hold the horses.
Because there cannot be money laundering.
Okay, Shama Mohammed, you made your point. Producer, let's turn to Shehzad again. Shehzad, you see, let's turn again to the politics of it. When a political party believes that the Enforcement Directorate is harassing its leader, its top leadership, it is entitled. They are also perfectly entitled to protest. You can question their protest, call it a sense of entitlement. Sonia Gandhi herself, Rahul Gandhi himself, have subjected themselves to the ED's questioning. Eventually, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani, we will know whether there is a crime or not. The BJP also seems to want to make this an issue of teaching the Gandhis a lesson. Somewhere this is nele pe dela, because Mr. Modi was questioned by the SIT for so many hours, we will now question the Gandhis. Do you really need, most lawyers I have spoken to, Shehzad, say this is not a case where you need 3-4 days, 58 hours questioning. It seems somewhere, therefore, that the ED has been asked, according to the Congress, to send out a message to the Gandhi family. Rajdeep, your response.
Please let me answer a lot of these.
No, you respond to this. Don't worry about it. Respond to this, please.
Rajdeep, I hope you won't interrupt.
I won't interrupt. Answer my question.
I hope my answers will be longer than your questions. First of all, Rajdeep, you are saying that you will determine how much time the ED should conduct a particular investigation or not conduct it. Let them decide it freely. Secondly, who has told you that...
are they free?
You have any doubt? Has any court of law said that they are acting under vendetta? Have they been called a caged parrot like they were called in UPA years? Or if they have so much proof, why didn't they go and prove in any case in the last 8 years that look, the ED is acting in vendetta politics, or they are acting in CBI is acting as a vendetta? In fact, in the Satyendra Jain case, here is the statement of Delhi Congress welcoming the action on Satyendra Jain. So when action of ED is taken on Satyendra Jain, it's good. But when it's on their own leaders, it is bad. Now that is their tax-free hypocrisy. But let me come to the main point. First of all, time and again you all are lying. Last time also when Pawan Kheda and I were on your show in June, at that time they said there was no FIR. First of all, Rajdeep, let me inform you and your viewers and Shama Mohammed, there is an ECIR in ED cases, not an FIR. One second. Please have the patience. Please, Rajdeep.
No,
Rajdeep, this is an important...
You go ahead, please.
If there was no ECIR, what they call FIR, if there was none of this, in the last 1 month, Chidambaram had also done a one-on-one with you and gone. They could not challenge and get any relief in the court of law that this ED is acting illegally. Are you saying they're so incompetent in law? Thirdly, I am telling you that the ECIR exists. It exists because a case under money laundering has been lodged because please hear me out. The trial court has said that there will be a complaint filed against Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi under 403, 406, 420, read with 120 B IPC. These form schedule offences to activate Section 3 of PMLA. PMLA, it does not attract only when money goes in and out of the country. Proceeds of an illegal criminal act are also therefore attracting PMLA, and therefore this is the section of basis of PMLA. And for the last...
Which lie unproven at the moment. Shehzad, let's be honest.
Rajdeep, first we are talking about whether it is a basis. Rajdeep, the question was there was no FIR or ECIR. I am answering that specific point. Please have some patience. You know, I am a legal person. I have studied law. Secondly,
so have I.
Yes, exactly. We both didn't practice. But now, I am saying that there is an attachment order of ED in the last 1 year. If this was all happening under illegal, without FIR or without ECIR, they questioned Motilal Vora and Oscar Fernandez. Not once in the last 2 years they went and got relief. Are you saying that if this was all baseless, without even an ECIR, they could not go to court? And she said two things, Rajdeep, I can't leave her on that. She said in 2014 the High Court has quashed this case. Can she show me the High Court order of 2014? She said that. And she said Amit Shah and Narendra Modi ji said the ED. She should show proof of that because I have a court order which has mandated the ED to do what it has done. But she should now show me where in 2014 the High Court has quashed this case. Let her answer this specifically. She has made that claim. She's the Congress Party spokesperson.
The High Court has not quashed the case.
Thank you.
Very clear.
Secondly,
the High Court has not quashed the case.
So she lied? She lied?
She lied. Go ahead.
Rajdeep, take a position. She lied. She lied.
She has. I have said
she
what
was
I have
fast
to say.
and loose with the truth. Now, secondly, the IT reassessment order,
yes,
which came out by the IT, it was challenged in High Court and Supreme Court by Abhishek Manu Singhvi itself. Did they get relief in that?
The matter is pending before the Supreme Court.
No. This is the Indian Express. The Supreme Court said, one second. National Herald case, Supreme Court allows IT department to continue tax reassessment of Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. Did the court quash it? Did the court quash it? No.
The matter is before the court at the moment. You must be very clear with that.
It has not quashed it. They went for quashing. They did not get any relief.
Yes, so the matter is pending before the court.
How is it pending? They went for relief of quashing. They did not get quashing.
They are back before the Supreme Court.
That
income tax case is being heard before the Supreme Court.
Rajdeep, please be honest.
Shama Mohammed, please.
One second. Rajdeep, she said the matter was quashed by the court.
It's not been quashed, I've said
neither the income tax reassessment order has been quashed, nor
it has
the case, the basic case. So she lied, she's a Congress representative who lied. Now please let me ask three specific questions, Rajdeep, because this is fundamental to this entire scam. If they had good intentions of helping AJL, AJL was given a 90 crore loan by Congress. Why did they transfer that loan and all the ownership of the property to YI, which had only 2 shareholders? They gave away the rights of 1,000 shareholders, and then they waived that loan. They waived that
I
loan.
need to ask, therefore, a simple question at the end to Shama Mohammed. Shama Mohammed, just a minute now. I want to ask you a straight question. Isn't it better for the Congress party, rather than to nitpick about whether there's a scheduled offence or not, all of this, you have 2 options. One, you can go to a higher court and get it quashed, which you have not been able to do so far. Or you allow the law to take its own course and get cleared by the courts eventually. This attempt constantly to suggest, even while the case is at this stage, that the Enforcement Directorate is harassing our leadership and therefore we are hitting the street. I am only looking at the politics for the moment. Why do you need to do it?
When our leaders are harassed, we will protest, and it's my right in a democracy to do it. Nobody is there to ask, nobody can question me on that. The other thing is, I want to ask him, why is the ED not on Narayan Rane? It's their own leader, Kirit Somaiya, who said he's doing money laundering. Go after him. What about all those people Kirit Somaiya has been saying against in Shiv Sena, who has now become part of the BJP government? There are cases against them. Why is ED not questioning? See, Raji, the problem is ED only questions opposition members. Now, he spoke about this scheduled offence. Now, ECIR only follows an FIR. Let me also give him some clear things on law. It doesn't come to a doorstep of a person. He is not showing me the
ECIR follows an FIR means what? Can she explain?
Okay,
She's lying through her teeth.
I've now reached a timeout in this debate.
There is no FIR in ED. There is no FIR under...
But I will ask... No, timeout. But I will ask you one last question, Shehzad, and I want a 1-minute answer. Yeah. You said in the previous government, CBI was called cage parrot by the courts. Opposition says that you have made the ED your washing machine. Your response: if I am in the supporting the BJP or in the BJP, no ED comes to my doorstep. The moment I'm on the other side, the ED targets me. It's across the country now. Therefore, the Enforcement Directorate is a washing machine for the BJP. Quick final answer.
You know, all the 3 sisters of corruption, TMC, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress have made this charge. I just want to ask you, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal said Satyendra Jain is Kattar Imandar. Let's assume he's completely right. ED did a vindictive action on him. In the last 2 months, Satyendra Jain did not get bail, if this was vindictive. Let's assume whatever charges you're making against ED, against our government is all true. The courts are not vindictive. And how come this Congress party representative, when the ED takes action on Satyendra Jain, they welcome it, and when it takes action on them, they say it's not right? So this is their hypocrisy. And thirdly, madam, if you have so much evidence that ED is acting in a vindictive manner, one case in the last 8 years where you've gone to court said that they have not acted in Narayan Rane's case, in Himanta Biswa Sarma's case, and they've acted wrongly in our case. One instance. You can shut us all up.
Okay, let me leave it there. We will wait to see what the courts have to say. At the end of the day, if I was an average citizen, I would have to go before a court of law to take a final proof of my innocence. On the street, you can fight your political battles. The battles will eventually be fought in a court of law in this country. Howsoever high you be, above you, hopefully, there is a court of law in this country. Shehzad Poonawalla, Shama Mohammed, appreciate your joining us here on the news today.